Big Bang Theory, Season 1 Episode 13. Series 01 Episode 13 The Bat Jar Conjecture Scene, The Apartment. Howard, ooh, more details about the new Star Trek film. There's going to be a scene depicting Spock's birth. Raj, I'd be more interested in a scene depicting Spock's conception. Sheldon, oh, please. For Vulcans, mating, or, if you will, Pon farr, it's an extremely private matter. Leonard, still, I'd like to know the details. His mother was human, his father was Vulcan, they couldn't just conceive. Howard, maybe they had to go to a clinic. Imagine Spock's dad in a little room, with a copy of pointy ears and shapely rears. Raj, how come on Star Trek everybody's private parts are the same? No alien lady ever told Captain Kirk, hey, get your thing out of my nose. Cultural references, Star Trek film, Spock, Vulcans, Pon farr, Captain Kirk. Iconic elements from the Star Trek franchise. Pon farr is the Vulcan mating ritual. Expression. The opening immediately establishes the guy's nerdy obsession with Star Trek canon, even down to hypothetical biological details. Howard and Raj's increasingly crude and anatomical speculations about alien reproduction highlight their sexually frustrated and often immature humor, while Sheldon's Pon farr comment is a typical display of his pedantry and knowledge of obscure lore. Penny, entering, hi, can you help me? I was writing an email and the key got stuck. Now it's just going, ah. Leonard, what did you spill on it? Penny, nothing. Diet Coke. And yogurt. A little nail polish. Expression. Penny's mundane technological problem stands in stark contrast to the guy's intellectual discussions, immediately highlighting her lack of scientific, technical proficiency. Her casual admission of spilling multiple substances on her laptop underscores her messiness and contributes to the humor. Howard, gentlemen, switching to local nerd news. Fishman, Chen, Chowdhury, McNair aren't fielding a team in the university Physics Bowl this year. Leonard, you're kidding, why not? Howard, they formed a barbershop quartet and got a gig playing Knott's Berry Farm. Cultural references, Physics Bowl, Knott's Berry Farm, a common academic competition, a theme park in California. Expression, the reveal of their rivals' unlikely and nerdy reason for not competing, highlighting the niche world the guys inhabit where a barbershop quartet gig at a theme park is a major development. Penny, wow, so in your world, you're like the cool guys. Howard, recognize. Leonard, this is our year. With those guys out, the entire Physics Bowl will kneel before Zod. Penny, Zod? Howard, Kryptonian villain. Long story. Raj, good story. Clasps hands to mouth in shock. Cultural references, kneel before Zod, Zod, Kryptonian villain. An iconic line and character from Superman comics and films. Expression. Penny's observation underscores the irony of their coolness being limited to their specific subculture. Leonard's enthusiastic and slightly over-the-top Superman reference highlights his excitement, and Raj's good story, followed by his inability to speak due to Penny's presence as a running gag. Sheldon, well, count me out. Howard, what? Why? Sheldon, you want me to use my intelligence in a tawdry competition? Would you ask Picasso to play Pictionary? Would you ask Noah Webster to play Boggle? Would you ask Jacques Cousteau to play Go Fish? Cultural references, Picasso, Pictionary, Noah Webster, Boggle, Jacques Cousteau, Go Fish. Famous figures in art, language, and exploration, juxtaposed with simple, informal games. Expression. Sheldon's elitist and arrogant refusal to participate, comparing himself to intellectual giants and deeming the Physics Bowl beneath him. His analogies are designed to highlight the supposed tawdry nature of the competition. Leonard, come on, you need a 4-person team, we're 4 people. Sheldon, by that reasoning we should also play bridge, hold up a huppa and enter the Olympic bobsled competition. Penny, I want tickets to that please. Cultural references, bridge, card game, huppa, Olympic bobsled competition, a complex card game, a canopy used in Jewish weddings, a Winter Olympic sport. Expression. Sheldon's literal Interpretation of Leonard's logic, using absurd and unrelated examples to highlight the supposed flaw in his reasoning. Penny's immediate, enthusiastic response to the idea of an Olympic bobsled huppa highlights her delight in absurdity and her willingness to engage in the guy's weirdness. Leonard: Sheldon, what, do I need to quote Spock's dying words to you? Sheldon: no, don't. Leonard: the needs of the many, Howard, outweigh the needs of the few. Sheldon: or the one. Damn it, I'll do it. Cultural reference. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one, Spock's famous line from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Expression. Leonard's strategic use of a Star Trek quote, knowing it's Sheldon's weakness. Sheldon's immediate concession after hearing the full quote demonstrates his deep adherence to Star Trek philosophy and his inability to resist its logic, even when it goes against his personal desires. Scene: the cafeteria. Raj: okay. First order of physics bowl business. We need a truly kick-ass team name. Suggestions. Howard: how about the Perpetual Motion Squad? It's beyond the laws of physics, plus a little heads up for the ladies. Leonard: the ladies? Howard: Perpetual Motion Squad, we can go all night. Scientific concept. Perpetual motion. A hypothetical machine that can run indefinitely without external energy. Expression. Howard's attempt to use a scientific concept for a crude sexual innuendo, showcasing his constant efforts to impress women, even when none are present. Raj's immediate approval, before Raj's mutism kicks in, shows his similar mindset. Sheldon: I don't. Teams are traditionally named after fierce creatures, thus intimidating one's opponent. Raj: then we can be the Bengal Tigers. Sheldon: poor choice. Gram for gram, no animal exceeds the relative fighting strength of the army ant. Raj: maybe so. But you can't incinerate a Bengal tiger with a magnifying glass. Scientific concept. Army ant strength. A known biological fact about the relative strength of army ants. Expression. Sheldon's pedantic and highly specific scientific rationale for a team name, leading to an amusing debate about the fiercest creature based on scientific metrics. Raj's counterpoint, while still nerdy, is surprisingly witty and practical. Leonard: will the gentleman from the great state of denial yield for a question? Sheldon: I will yield. Leonard: after we go through the exercise of an annoying series of votes, all of which the gentleman will lose, does he then intend to threaten to quit if he does not get his way? Sheldon: he does. Leonard: I move we are the army ants, all those in favor? Expression. Leonard's shrewd political maneuvering, using formal parliamentary language to expose Sheldon's predictable tantrum. Sheldon's honest admission of his intent to quit highlights his stubbornness and unwillingness to compromise. Leonard's immediate call for a vote to spite Sheldon is a humorous power play. Scene: the apartment. Penny: good afternoon, and welcome to today's Physics Bowl practice round. I'm Penny, and I'll be your host. Because apparently I didn't have anything else to do on a Saturday afternoon, and isn't that just a little sad? Gentlemen, are you ready? Expression. Penny's sarcastic self-deprecating humor, acknowledging the mundane nature of her Saturday afternoon activities and the irony of her hosting a physics bowl practice. Penny: you know, it's none of my business, but isn't a guy who can't speak in front of women going to hold you back a little? Leonard: oh, he'll be okay once the women are mixed into the crowd. He only has a problem when they're one-on-one and smell nice. Penny: oh, thanks Raj, it's vanilla oil. Leonard: I was actually the one who noticed. Okay, let's just start. Expression. Penny's direct question about Raj's selective mutism, leading to Leonard's detailed, and slightly awkward, explanation of its conditions. Penny's immediate, self-serving, and perhaps subtly flirting, thanks Raj, for noticing her scent, and Leonard's quick, flustered correction, highlights the subtle relationship dynamics and Penny's awareness of her effect on them. Penny: okay, the first question is on the topic of optics. What is the shortest light pulse ever produced? Dr. Cooper. Sheldon: and of course, the answer is 130 attoseconds. Penny: that is correct. Leonard: I knew that too. Scientific concept. Attoseconds. A very small unit of time, 10-18 seconds. Expression. Sheldon's immediate and confident answer, followed by Leonard's frustrated attempt to assert his own knowledge, showcasing their competitive dynamic. Sheldon. But I answered, it's called teamwork. Howard. Don't you think I should answer the engineering questions? I am an engineer. Sheldon. By that logic I should answer all the anthropology questions because I'm a mammal. Expression. Sheldon's egotistical definition of teamwork, where he answers everything, and his absurd analogy about answering anthropology questions because he's a mammal, demonstrating his unwavering self-importance and flawed logic. Sheldon. Why? Penny. Because it's polite. Sheldon. What do manners have to do with it? This is war. Were the Romans polite when they salted the ground of Carthage to make sure nothing would ever grow again? Historical reference. Romans, Carthage, salting the ground, refers to the Roman destruction of Carthage, a historical event often cited as an example of extreme warfare. Expression. Sheldon's complete dismissal of social etiquette in favor of a war mentality, drawing a dramatically over-the-top historical analogy to justify his behavior. This highlights his competitive intensity and lack of social grace. Sheldon. The objective of the competition is to give correct answers. If I know them, why shouldn't I give them? Howard. Some of us might have the correct answers too. Sheldon. Oh please, you don't even have a PhD. Expression. Sheldon's unapologetic logic for dominating, followed by his blunt and insulting put-down of Howard's lack of a PhD, demonstrating his intellectual snobbery and willingness to use it to diminish others. Howard, after Raj whispers in his ear, I agree. Penny. What did he say? Howard. He compared Sheldon to a disposable feminine cleansing product one might use on a summer's eve. Penny. Yeah, and the bag it came in. Cultural reference. Summer's Eve, a brand of feminine hygiene products. Expression. Rogers whispered, due to his mutism, and surprisingly cutting insult. Which Howard translates. Penny's immediate and even harsher addition, and the bag it came in, shows her sharp wit and shared frustration with Sheldon. Scene. The same, later. Sheldon. I've designed the perfect uniforms for our team. The colors are based on Star Trek, the original series. The three of you will wear support red, and I will wear command gold. Leonard. Why do they say ah? Sheldon. Army ants. Leonard. Isn't that confusing? Ah might mean something else to certain people. Sheldon. Why would a physics bowl team be called anodized aluminium? Leonard. No, I meant. Never mind. Cultural references. Star Trek uniforms, red for support, gold for command. Alcoholics Anonymous, specific visual cues from Star Trek and a common acronym. For a support group. Expression. Sheldon's nerd-specific uniform design, including his self-assigned command gold. Leonard's attempt to point out the unfortunate acronym, which Sheldon literally misunderstands, thinking of anodized aluminium, highlights Sheldon's social cluelessness and Leonard's exasperated decision to give up. Leonard. Hey, check it out. I got you a Batman cookie jar. Sheldon. Oh neat, what's the occasion? Leonard. Well, you're a friend, and you like Batman, and cookies, and you're off the team. Cultural reference. Batman, iconic superhero. Expression. Leonard's attempt at a soft dismissal of Sheldon using a gift to cushion the blow. The sudden revelation that Sheldon is off the team creates immediate comedic tension. Sheldon. Okay, I don't know where you just came from, but it couldn't have been a team meeting because I'm on the team and I wasn't there, ergo the team did not meet. Leonard. Okay, let me try it this way. I was at a coffee klatch with a couple of friends and one thing led to another and it turns out you're off the team. Sheldon. Why? Leonard. Because you're taking all the fun out of it. Expression. Sheldon's literal and logical, but socially blind, denial of the team meeting. Leonard's simpler explanation, coffee klatch, is met with Sheldon's demand for a why, leading to Leonard's direct and blunt reasons for his dismissal. Leonard. Okay, let me try it this way. You're annoying and no one wants to play with you anymore. Sheldon. I see. Well, at this point I should inform you that I intend to form my own team and destroy the molecular bonds that bind your very matter together, and reduce the resulting particulate chaos to tears. Scientific concepts. Molecular bonds, particulate chaos, terms from chemistry and physics used in a dramatic, threatening way. Expression. Leonard's blunt honesty finally breaks through to Sheldon. Sheldon's subsequent over-the-top, scientifically themed threat of destruction highlights his vengeful nature and his ability to weaponize his knowledge. Sheldon. It's on, bitch. Expression. Sheldon's surprising and uncharacteristic use of a casual, aggressive insult, showing his intense anger and competitive spirit, adopted from popular culture. Scene. The cafeteria. Sheldon. He just smiles and eats macaroons out of his bat jar. Expression. The visual of Sheldon eating cookies from a Batman cookie jar, now a symbol of his banishment from the main team, is a subtle and humorous touch. Raj. He's using psychological warfare. We must reply in kind. I say we wait until he looks at us, then laugh like, yes, you are a smart and strong competitor, but we are also smart and strong and we have a reasonable chance of defeating you. Leonard. How exactly would that laugh go? Raj. He. Howard. That sounds more like, we are a tall thin woman who wants to make a coat out of your Dalmatians. Cultural reference. Dalmatians, referring to Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. Expression. Raj's attempt at a sophisticated psychological tactic, which immediately devolves into an awkward, high-pitched laugh. Howard's hilarious and specific interpretation of the laugh points to the guy's inability to act normal or intimidating. Leonard. Guys, let's remember that Sheldon is still our friend in my room. Mate. Howard. So? Leonard. So nothing, let's destroy him. Expression. Leonard's brief and quickly abandoned attempt at moral high ground, immediately giving in to the shared desire for vengeance, highlighting the power of their collective frustration with Sheldon. Raj. You know who's apparently very smart, is the girl who played TV's Blossom. She got a PhD in neuroscience or something. Leonard. Raj, we're not getting TV's Blossom to join our physics bowl team. Raj. How about the girl from the Wonder Years? Cultural references. TV's Blossom, Mayim Bialik, The Wonder Years, Danica McKellar, actresses known for playing intelligent characters, who are themselves highly educated. This is a meta joke, as Mayim Bialik. Blossom later joins the show as Amy Farrah Fowler, a neuroscientist. Expression. Raj's desperate suggestions for a fourth team member, drawing from his knowledge of TV rather than direct social interaction. The meta joke about Mayim Bialik is particularly clever in retrospect. Leonard. We can't ask Leslie Winkle. Raj. Why? Because you slept together and when she was done with you she discarded you like last night's chutney? Leonard. Yes. Howard. Sometimes you've got to take one for the team. Raj. Yeah. Sack up, dude. Expression. The reveal of Leonard's awkward sexual history with Leslie Winkle, immediately, and graphically, described by Raj. Howard and Raj's encouragement for Leonard to sack up for the team is a typical display of their crude locker room humor and pressure tactics. Leslie. Leonard, there's no reason to feel uncomfortable just because we've seen each other's faces and naked bodies contorted in the sweet agony of coitus. Expression. Leslie's blunt, clinical, and slightly disturbing description of their sexual encounter, which completely unnerves Leonard. This establishes Leslie's character as equally brilliant and socially abrasive as Sheldon, but with a more direct and often sexual edge. Leslie. Rest assured that any aspects of our sexual relationship regarding your preferences, your idiosyncrasies, your performance, are still protected by the inherent confidentiality of the bedroom. Expression. Leslie's further, detailed, reassurance to Leonard, which only makes him more uncomfortable, showcasing her lack of social filter and her ability to disarm him with oversharing. Leslie. No thanks, I'm really busy with my like-signed Dlepton supersymmetry search. Howard. Dlepton, Schmelepton, we need you. Scientific concept. Like-signed Dlepton supersymmetry search, a highly specific and advanced area of particle physics. Expression. Leslie's immediate refusal, giving a highly technical reason. Howard's dismissive, and made-up, Schmelepton, phrase highlights his frustration with the scientific jargon and his desire to recruit her at any cost. Leslie. Wait, you're going up against Sheldon Cooper? Howard. Yes. Leslie. That arrogant, misogynistic East Texas doorknob that told me I should abandon my work with high-energy particles for laundry and childbearing? Leonard. She's in. Expression. Leslie's immediate and visceral hatred for Sheldon, triggered by his past misogynistic comments, becomes the catalyst for her joining the team. Her harsh descriptors, arrogant, misogynistic East Texas doorknob, perfectly summarize Sheldon's worst traits and her strong personality. Scene. The Physics Bowl. Sheldon, entering in his Star Trek-themed shirt, gentleman. Leonard. Sheldon. Howard. Sheldon. Raj. He. Penny. Sheldon. I'm just going to sit down. Expression. Sheldon's dramatic entrance in his self-designed, command gold, Star Trek shirt, contrasted with Raj's awkward, psychological warfare, laugh and Penny's resigned decision to simply sit down. Sheldon. Actually, I don't need a team, I could easily defeat you single-handedly. But the rules require 4, so may I introduce, the third-floor janitor, he lady from the lunchroom, and, my Spanish is not good, either her son or her butcher. And what about your team? What rat have you recruited to the SS sinking ship? Expression. Sheldon's continued arrogance, claiming he doesn't need a team, and his random, non-academic recruits, janitor, lunchlady, butcher, son, chosen purely to fulfill the rules. His insult to the other team, SS sinking ship, is a classic Sheldon jab. Leslie. Hello, Sheldon. Sheldon. Leslie Winkle? Leslie. Yeah, Leslie Winkle. The answer to the question, who made Sheldon Cooper cry like a little girl? Expression. Leslie's dramatic entrance and her immediate, direct insult to Sheldon, referencing a past defeat that clearly still haunts him, showcasing her shared abrasive nature. Sheldon. Yes, well, I'm polymerized tree sap and you're non-organic adhesive, so, whatever verbal projectile you launch in my direction is reflected off of me, returns on its original trajectory, and adheres to you. Scientific concepts. Polymerized tree sap, amber, non-organic adhesive. Scientific terms used in a convoluted and defensive insult. Expression. Sheldon's highly complex and scientifically based verbal defense, attempting to deflect Leslie's insult with a convoluted scientific analogy, which falls flat due to its incomprehensibility. Leonard. Here's your t-shirt. Hands her a t-shirt with PMS on it. Takes jacket off to reveal similar. Leslie. PMS? It's a couple of days early, but. Leonard. No, it stands for Perpetual Motion Squad. Leslie. Oh, right, of course, what was I thinking? Expression. The unfortunate and common acronym, PMS, premenstrual syndrome, for their team name, Perpetual Motion Squad, provides a classic moment of double entendre, and Leslie's quick, sarcastic response highlights her own cynical wit. Howard. All night long, y'all. Stands and turns round to reveal the back of the t-shirt, which reads, We can go all night. Expression. Howard's loud and crude reiteration of the sexual innuendo behind their team name, further emphasizing his character. Sheldon. Formal protest. Gablehauser. On what grounds? Sheldon. The Velcro on my wrist brace. Caught on my shirt. Gablehauser. Denied. Expression. Sheldon's petty and absurd reason for a formal protest, showcasing his inability to accept defeat or setbacks without immediate complaint. Raj. Sheldon can suck on, the Casimir effect. Scientific concept. Casimir effect, a quantum mechanical phenomenon. Expression. Raj's triumphant answer, coupled with a rare and direct insult to Sheldon, showing his own rising confidence and resentment. Howard. 760 degrees Celsius, the approximate temperature of the young lady in the front row. Gablehauser. Mr. Wolowitz, this is your second warning. Expression. Howard's continued, and inappropriate, flirting, even during the competition, earning him another warning. Howard. He doesn't have it. He's got squat. Sheldon looks more and more uncomfortable, so much he is involuntarily twitching. Gablehauser. Ah, I need your answer. Buzz. Third floor janitor. The answer. is -8 by alpha. Expression. Sheldon's visible discomfort and involuntary twitching, signaling his inability to solve the final problem. The janitor's unexpected correct answer. From Sheldon's team is a comedic twist. Sheldon. Hang on a second, that's not our answer. What are you doing? Third floor janitor. Answering question. Winning physics bowl. Sheldon. How do you know anything about physics? Third floor janitor. Here I am janitor, in former Soviet Union I am physicist. Leningrad Polytechnica. Go Polar Bears. Historical reference. Former Soviet Union, Leningrad Polytechnica, Polar Bears, refers to the former Soviet Union's high scientific standards, a prestigious technical university in Russia, a common team mascot. Expression. The brilliant reveal of the janitor's true background as a highly qualified physicist from the Soviet Union, directly contrasting with Sheldon's dismissive attitude. This is a classic, underestimated character trope, providing a satisfying comeuppance for Sheldon. Sheldon. Well, that's a delightful little story, but our arrangement was that you sit here and not say anything, I answer the questions. Third floor janitor. You didn't answer question. Sheldon. Hey look, now maybe you have democracy now in your beloved Russia, but on this physics bowl team one rule with an iron fist. Makes fist in the air. Ow. Expression. Sheldon's immediate and self-serving attempt to reassert control, resorting to a dictatorial stance and invoking Cold War stereotypes, only to injure himself, underscoring his physical ineptitude. Sheldon. No, I decline to provide one. Gablehauser. Well, that's too bad. Because the answer your teammate gave was correct. Sheldon. That's your opinion. Expression. Sheldon's petulant refusal to provide an answer in his childish dismissal of the correct answer as opinion, highlighting his extreme pride and inability to admit intellectual defeat. Leonard. Hang on. Sheldon is proving that you are single-handedly smarter than everyone else, so important that you would rather lose by yourself than win as part of a team. Sheldon. I don't understand the question. Leonard. Go ahead. Gablehauser. The winner is PMS. We Are the Champions by Queen plays as the team celebrate in slow motion and Sheldon puts his head in his hands. The celebration ends with Howard on his knees ripping his shirt in half and waving it round his head before throwing it to the audience. Cultural reference. We Are the Champions by Queen, an iconic victory anthem. Expression. Leonard's direct challenge to Sheldon's ego, which Sheldon feigns not to understand. His silence allows PMS to win, leading to a glorious, slow-motion victory celebration for the winning team, contrasted with Sheldon's utter despair. A satisfying resolution to his arrogance. Howard's shirt-ripping celebration is a nod to athletic victories. Scene. The apartment. Leonard. Sorry, somebody's sitting there. Sheldon. Who? Leonard. My physics bowl trophy. Sheldon. That trophy is meaningless, I forfeited, therefore you did not win. Leonard. I know someone who would disagree. Sheldon. Who? Leonard. My physics bowl trophy. In weird voice, Leonard is so smart, Sheldon who? Expression. Leonard's ongoing taunting of Sheldon, using the trophy as a physical representation of his victory. And giving it a voice, to further irritate Sheldon, showing Leonard's relish in his rare triumph. Penny, entering. Okay, new contest. Leonard. What are you doing? Penny. I'm settling once and for all who is the smartest around here. Okay, are you ready? Expression. Penny's unexpected challenge, designed to highlight the guys' lack of general knowledge beyond their scientific bubble. Penny. Okay. Marcia, Jan and Cindy were the three daughters of what TV family? They stare at her. The Brady Bunch. Okay. Sammy Hagar replaced David Lee Roth as the lead singer in what group? Sheldon, after they look at each other in confusion. The Brady Bunch? Penny. Van Halen. All right, Madonna was married to this Ridgemont High alum. Pause. Oh my God, Sean Penn. Leonard. How do you know these things? Penny. I go outside and I talk to people. Cultural references. Marcia, Jan, Cindy, The Brady Bunch, Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth, Van Halen, Madonna, Ridgemont High, Sean Penn. iconic figures and elements from popular culture, 1970s sitcom, rock music, 1980s pop culture, film. Expression. The hilarious demonstration of the guy's profound ignorance of popular culture, failing even the most basic questions, contrasted with Penny's confident knowledge. Penny's explanation, I go outside and I talk to people, perfectly encapsulates their social isolation versus her worldliness. Sheldon. William Shatner. Leonard. Wait, I don't think it's Shatner. Sheldon. Then it's got to be Patrick Stewart. Penny. No. Sheldon. Formal protest. Cultural reference. William Shatner, Patrick Stewart, both actors who played Captain Kirk and Captain Picard in Star Trek. Expression. The guy's continued reliance on Star Trek knowledge even in a pop culture quiz, leading to more wrong answers and Sheldon's predictable, formal protest. Penny. All right, singer who sang, Oops I Did It Again. Sheldon starts involuntarily twitching again. Okay, Tweety Bird, Totty Ta what? Sheldon, after they pass a smug look between each other, Romulan. Penny. Yes, he Totty Ta a Romulan. Sheldon and Leonard do a victory hand slide. Cultural references, Oops I Did It. Again, Britney Spears, Tweety Bird, I Ta a Potty Tat, Romulan. A famous pop song. A cartoon character known for a specific catchphrase, an alien race from Star Trek. Expression. Penny continues to stump them with pop culture, causing Sheldon to twitch in frustration. The final question about Tweety Bird is a trick, leading the guys to correctly answer with a Star Trek reference, which Penny, ironically, validates. Their triumphant, victory hand slide, shows their small but satisfying intellectual victory within their own domain, ending the episode on a note of their enduring nerdy identity.